Getting ready for the start of the second half. Stanford a 1-0 lead thanks to a goal in the 6th minute by Madison Haley, her second of the season, assisted by JoJo Harbor and Jordan DiBiase. Welcome back to the GoStanford.com and Pack-12.com live stream of Stanford women's soccer, folks. Kevin Hale alongside Chris H. Fitzgerald, Kari Jones, and our technical director, Rob DeSandre, our cameraman. Fitz, what'd you make of that first half?
Well, so the one goal for Stanford was drawn up as you would on paper, minus maybe just a brief deflection at the top of the play. Elsewhere on the pitch, Stanford looked great in the mid. We didn't get to see them too much in the back, but momentum towards the end of that first half did tilt in the direction of the Mustangs.
At the very end of that half, indeed. Getting a corner kick in the final 15 seconds. So Macario, who did not start the first half, is starting the second half. We'll try to reset these lineups for you. Kiki Pickett in there alongside Sam Hyatt. In the back line, joined by Naomi Girma and Alana Cook. You have Jay Boissiere in the midfield. Macario. Here's Tegan McGrady along the left flank as that one deflected in the box. Also out there, Madison Haley and Jordan DiBiase, Sophia Smith. And in cage, Lauren Rude for the Cardinal. Meanwhile, for Cal Poly, starting the second half and getting her second action of the season, Brooke Olson, number 16. Also out there, Jessica Johnson to start the second half. We did not see her in the first. Megan Hansen out there. Here's Boissiere as that goes out wide. Sydney Knauer, the 5'8" senior from San Luis Obispo, where Cal Poly is located in there, number 44. Ava McCray, 26, will throw it in. Sophia Brown still in there as goalkeeper. Chelsea Berry, number 5 in there. Alongside 32, Brooke Rubenstein. I believe it's all 11 been mentioned. So here's Kiki Pickett. Again, you see just how lethal Katarina could be.
Yeah, pretty extraordinary spot for her. And from the top of the 18 and the very top, although you wouldn't feel that necessarily from the velocity of the shot, it got to the frame in a hurry.
Just couldn't keep it low enough as Haley, the nice turn herself. Through ball for Macario. Boissiere pops one towards the goal mouth. And quickly covered up by Brown. '48th minute. There's Haley. Oh, for Macario. She'll get there, but not in a threatening spot. Boissiere. Jay lets it rip, deflected by Knauer. Stanford has the look of a team that has at least a couple of goals in it here in the second half. Smith first touch too much. I'll get a final third throw in here. Cardinal out shooting the Mustangs 16-2 at this point. It was 14-2 at the half. One corner apiece and 6 saves for Sophia Brown, 1 for Lauren Rude. And she is now more than halfway to what would be her first shutout of the year. Had 7 shutouts last year. Cardinals just gave up 9 goals all of 2017, scored 91. Pickett. There's Smith trying to tow it through 2 Mustangs. Guillermo. Back from Teagan. There's no pressure on the ball whatsoever. Not starting to feel pressure fits really until they enter the final third. Cal Poly more than happy to let them possess 30 to 40 yards out.
Very few mistakes on the ball and off the ball for Stanford, and as such we see
Haley goes to ground and gets the spot foul. PK coming up. So it looked like that was Talmy who took her to ground. Emily Talmy, the freshman from Granite Bay. And look at a PK coming up. Looks like Madison's going to take it. Chance to make this 2-0 here in the 51st minute. Clock is stopped. So Haley to make it 2-0 and for her second goal of the game. 2-0 Stanford. Too easy for Haley, who has a brace. Just politely tapped that one in, and Brown was frozen.
real clean touch on the instep. A couple of the shots that have been wide open for Stanford weren't necessarily caught clean thus far. That one was.
It's the 21st goal of the season for the Cardinal, third for Madison Haley, who had 4 all of last year. She scored all 3 of those goals in the last, well, let's see, what would it be, the last 51 minutes of action? Dating back to the game-winning goal in overtime against North Carolina. McGrady. Stanford, you know it. They'll be looking for more. Nice ball from Katarina to Teagan. Ooh. Rolls through the box. Pickett's going to send it back in. Smith got a boot on it. Nobody on the other end. Stanford looking every bit like the #1 team in the land.
This is like almost like schoolyard ball, where if you miss a shot and you didn't hit the rim, you just take it out to half and then you put it back in.
That's a pretty good analogy for what we have seen tonight.
I am not a good pick on a basketball team. I should clear that up too.
I think I knew that already. Corner kick. No offense.
If we haven't played together, Kevin, that was by design. So in fact, I'm winning.
McGrady on the in swinger here. Punched out by Brown, another corner kick. I'm still trying to think of a response to that last comment you made.
Fantastic punch out there on a separate note.
Yeah, back to soccer. I'm going to stop the clock. Brown might have come out of her cleat there. Looks like her left cleat. I got the binoculars out trying to see exactly what the deal is, but Sophia Brown has a couple of teammates working on what appears to be her left shoe. Wasn't any blood. Well, we'll do it again. Another corner coming up here for McGrady and the Cardinal. Another in-swinger, same spot. Smith comes down with it. looking to send it across the goal mouth. Oh, Haley, what a tackle. She's saying she got all ball.
What a crazy
Sounded
whistle.
like all ball.
What a crazy whistle that was.
What? Foul against Haley.
No
booking.
I mean, what's the word there? Ball don't lie?
Yeah.
I mean, if there was ever a better case of that.
Not sure. Probably didn't hear the sound on the web stream, but in person, you heard a big thud. The sound that could only be made by tackling the ball. With conviction at that. 54th minute.
By the way, Kevin, that PK was not the first time that Haley had been more or less dragged down very near the box. That was just the one time it got called.
Very true. Back post, and Talman will have to play it out for a corner.
Phenomenal ball on the run. Put a cushion under it.
Teagan McGrady. Grady's played the last couple near post. Pretty much same spot. This one pops up, and Brown does well there.
This type of a challenge, playing Stanford in the early season, if you're the Mustangs, given that it won't always go this way, it's always going to be a good test for your keeper. Good learning opportunity.
Yep.
I mean, you just don't get all that many shots of the same caliber as someone like Macario or Davidson.
Here is Macario, and Sophia Brown has done a pretty good job here for Cal Poly tonight. Both goals she didn't have a chance on. Obviously the PK in the first half.
I mean, how many
Haley with a rocket.
How many spots has just directing traffic been of the utmost importance?
And that one headed out by McCray for a corner. Stanford close to really pouring it on here. Out shooting Cal Poly 17-2. Boissiere on the in-swinger. Cleared out. Rubenstein. And kept in by Macario. McCray sends it away. Oh, this is the first game of a two-match Pac-12 road trip for Cal Poly. They are at Washington State on Sunday. Macario trying to bend one in. Boissiere! Oh, off the crossbar. The header stopped by Brown. Wow! DiBiase with the header, and Brown with the save of the match.
Brown is having a good game.
Woo! What a save. I thought she had no chance on that one.
And that first chip shot hit the bottom of the crossbar.
Wow, this very close to being 3-0.
And this game, Kevin, could be anywhere from 2 to 5-0 the way it's playing.
The seventh save from Brown, her most impressive tonight. Cal Poly had the one really good opportunity off the corner at the end of the first half. Had some half chances before that, but this second half, they really haven't had a look at all. Taken away, nicely done by Hanson. Here's Talmy. Pickett, what a play. Is cutting in front of Emily Talmy to win possession back. Looks like we got a trio of Mustangs waiting to come in. At the next Mustang throw-in. Well, it won't be now. This is a Stanford throw-in. Getting a little chilly here. Back post, DiBiase got a head on it too high, and now those subs will come in off the goal kick. Actually going to be 5 Mustangs coming in. We'll call them out for you. Looks like Stiegler's coming in. Mackenzie George. Stiegler. Hernandez Marquez. Heather Hewen. And Ashley Kerchick. Those are the 5 coming on. The 5 coming off. Rubenstein, Olson, Johnson, alongside Mendoza and Knauer. Haley, top of the box, deflected, punched out, but not really cleared. Now it is by McCray. Approaching the hour mark. Stanford thirsty for another. Oh, Smith. Great run by her. Does yield a corner. You a fan of the short corner fits, or do you prefer it to be played into the box?
You know, I'm a traditionalist. Into the box is the way that I prefer. What about you?
I'm an into the box guy. That is the second time they've taken a short corner. They do eventually get it in there.
It's not that the short corner doesn't make sense to me. I'm answering that more from an aesthetic perspective than a strategic perspective. Was that how you intended the question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, into the box we go.
Yeah. There's Smith. She goes to ground just outside of the box.
That was an interesting spot, kind of drawing the call by stopping on a dime.
Yeah.
I think is what that looked further in front of you.
Teagan to take it. Bending one back post. Too much weight on that one for Haley and a goal kick. We will get a Stanford sub. It's going to be Grubel. Allie Grubel checking in for Sophia Smith. '62nd minute. It's going to go on Haley. Nice ball for Grubel. DiBiase. Ball kind of hopped up on her as it made it her way. Boissiere. College Cup most outstanding player. Game-winning goal in the national championship match against UCLA in the second half. A 3-2 decision. Played in Orlando. Nice bit of possession here for the Mustangs. Hernandez Marquez. trying to get that to Stiegler, and she's offside. Second time, Cal Poly has been drawn offside by Stanford.
Seems like a okay risk to take, but Stanford running the offside trap is a veteran move, and it's something that you don't necessarily expect in a game like this where it's just all Stanford. But even things like that, you really have to rely on those as you pick up data points for, hey, how is the back line in this game? Are they doing all the smart things? And are they doing the things that you do draw up in plays and you talk about a fair bit if you're Paul Ratcliffe?
Ooh, almost 3-0 DiBiase with a 19-yard attempt.
That ball was stung, and it was still basically moving on the pass. I mean, it pinballed off the instep of her right foot, but then she swung away from a stationary spot, not a position that necessarily is tailor-made for a strong shot.
Fitz, back to your point about setting the offside trap, it's not something we traditionally see Stanford do from recollection over the last few years. Maybe.
Yeah, I think it's a wrinkle that makes the most sense in games like this where it's going to be two players forward and one of them essentially has to cheat up a little bit in order to create a situation that's advantageous for the 2-on-4 that's ensuing.
DiBiase for Haley. One touch back to Jordan.
I would defer to Paul or Hideki for more information on that. The coaching staff, I'm sure, is well versed, but that's what it looks like.
Macario. Ooh, tried to half volley that one home.
Had that ball for an eternity.
Yeah.
It was bouncing hip high, though, the whole time.
Did well to control it. Did get blocked. Here's Boissiere. Nice play by Hansen. Pickett keeps it in. Sophomore to the freshman Grubel. Nice ball for Macario. Katarina. And that will go out of play. Got a Stanford sub. Looks like Sam Tran coming in. The midsection of Hansen. Could have took the wind out of her. Nice ball, McGrady. Ooh, deflected before it could get to Cage. Nice play there by number 3, Ashley Kirchick. With the deflection, then the clearance. We're about 2/3 of the way home. Fitz could have sworn you said it wasn't going to get colder by the second half.
I believe the words were, it's not going to be one of those cold nights. And
cold enough for some of the broadcast booth to put its jackets on.
I see someone wearing long sleeves and shorts, and they look fine.
Well, yeah, it's never the legs that get cold.
For some. I think, Kevin, you would agree that there's a difference between this temperature right now and the October temperatures we can sometimes get towards the end of a game at Kagan Stadium. Fair?
Fair.
Almost like this is still within the last remnants of summer conditions. No agreement there? Too much of a stretch?
Fair.
All right.
Here comes Cal Poly. George playing it behind Stiegler and Pickett racing the other way. She is fast. You want to talk about fast players. Look no further than Kiki Pickett, number 23.
Reminds me of Kirby Falk. Before the even before the 2009 team that we've referenced several times.
Savannah Coleman coming in alongside Ceci G. That predates me, Fitz.
Well, maybe. I think you were a student when she was playing.
But not on the web stream. It was pre-web stream.
Indeed it was. I found I think I mentioned this earlier. I found I want to say it was 2007 quarterfinals press pass.
Yeah. That's
and I couldn't figure out who they were playing. It just said Stanford Soccer, but somewhere in the archives of things that I had not yet cleaned up properly from apparently 2007. It's always nice when you can find a date for all of the stuff that you've yet to organize.
Good times.
Anyway, life well lived. Living my best life, in fact. Thanks for asking.
There's no doubt about that. There's George. Knauer couldn't control. Pickett. Gee, just wide of the mark. Hit the back netting. I think maybe a couple of fans thought that went through. Another Stanford sub. Beatty Goad in for DiBiase. Probably you can call it a night for Jordan here in the 70th minute. Coleman almost got there. So did McGrady. Goad does. Stanford still searching for a third goal. As the Cardinal looks for its 29th straight win. Again, this is the longest streak at the NCAA Division I level since North Carolina won 31 in a row from 2003 to 2004. Nice ball there for McGrady. Teagan cuts past her defender, George. Just high of the mark on the lefty rocket. Some A-plus directing from Kari Jones going on right now. Rob DeSandre, our cameraman. There's Sam Hyatt. Gearman walking it up. Grubel asking for the ball in space. She receives. Nice run from Pickett. Didn't get it. But here's Grubel from 20 plus, and it's in! Hey, how about that? Ali Grubel with the goal. And the Cardinal gets its third of the match, second of the season for the freshman from Santa Ana, California.
Sneaky shot there. Very good speed. No chance for the keeper.
Yeah, perfect placement on that. 3-0. Stanford. 22nd of the season for the Cardinal. Getting the Mustang sub. Coming in, Kelly Kesloff, the senior from Cypress, California. Played their club ball with Beach FC, the environmental engineering major. Cal Poly, a great school academically. You could call it the Stanford of the Big West. I'm sure UC Irvine would like that claim as well. Another very good school in that conference. Just a really nice town, San Luis Obispo. Or San Luis Obispo. If you want to say it correctly in Spanish, it would be San Luis Obispo. But Americanized. Or slow. SLO.
I think I prefer your correct pronunciation, although I haven't heard it that way. I've heard the more Americanized only.
couple of Stanford subs, Bell Breed and Carly Malatsky waiting at the substitution area, midfield.
Oh, what a ball.
Yeah, that was nice for Tran.
Right to the foot.
Perfect placement. So Malatsky and Breed will come in. We'll say goodbye for now to Sam Hyatt and Kiki Pickett, who is electric here in the second half. Kiki, always fun to watch her play. Corner kick coming up. And it will be JoJo Harbor, the sophomore from Bellevue, Washington, same hometown as former Stanford men's basketball player Aaron Bright, a Bellevue kid. 4 years on the farm, grad transfer year at St. Mary's for him. Cal Poly on the counter here. And blown up quickly by Grubel. 74th minute as the Cardinal sporting a 3-0 lead. 2 goals from Madison Haley. 1 in the first half, 1 in the second on a PK. And then it was Allie Grubel to make it 3-0. So many good underclassmen on this team, Fitz. Talk about the depth, and usually when you think about a team being deep, you think juniors and seniors. It's also the freshmen and sophomores on this team.
Yeah, tuning into web streams earlier this season and looking at names that people had talked about, players coming in, or players that just didn't see as much time later in the season last year. And just remembering, yeah, this is a very, very deep squad, and it will be in years to come. The recruiting classes that have come in consistently getting even better.
Cardinal, after that last shot, popped high out, shooting the Mustangs 30-3. Busy weekend on the farm. The women's soccer team has another home game, big one against Santa Clara on Sunday. Field hockey, 2 home games against Yale and Kent State. Of course, Stanford football hosting UC Davis, 11 a.m. kickoff. Early start. Get your waffles and football ready for that one. And before that, it's the Stanford men's water polo home opener against Santa Clara, 9 a.m. Ooh, looking for Tran, the ball in from JoJo Harbor, just off by a beat. Stanford women's volleyball, big match at Texas tomorrow. Took down the Longhorns in straight sets here on the farm on Tuesday in a match that was televised by Pac-12 networks. Well, the Cardinal, they've defeated 3 straight top 5 opponents in Penn State, Minnesota, which was number 1 at the time that the Cardinal took them down. And then Texas. Stanford, the number 2 team in the country. And looking like they could win it all for the second time in 3 years and make their 3rd straight trip to the Final Four. Another team that looks like it can make its way to the Final Four, Stanford women's soccer. They call it the College Cup. They've been there 7 of the last 10 years. Not too shabby. Potentially number 4 on the way. Tran pushed off the ball, got back on it, and Stiegler lost her footing, but cleared away. Looking for George. And the advantage that was being played got halted. So it was a foul on Stanford. 78th minute. Harbor. Nice ball for Coleman. Savannah Coleman Played off by Knauer.
Lengthy stretch, Kevin, of
Yeah.
games at home for Stanford. You talked about it already, but essentially the whole month of September, if you're going to come out to Kagan Stadium and watch a game, that's the month, because the majority of the home games, and more so than any Stanford schedule that I've seen in the past, all being played within the month of September and fairly evenly spread out, as you would imagine, as they've got not only Notre Dame, North Carolina. Those games are kind of starred in the schedule as quote-unquote games that everyone's going to watch. Cal Poly, Santa Clara, Arizona, and UCLA, USC.
Yeah, and they only have 2 games at home after the month of September.
Utah and Colorado on the 18th and 21st of October.
Got a couple of subs here for Cal Poly. Actually, at the next Mustang throw-in, I should say. So, yeah, Pac-12 play begins September 21st against Arizona. So, 8 days from today, Friday evening, it's the Wildcats. Arizona this year off to a 6-1-0 start. 4 Pac-12 teams in the rankings. Number 1, Stanford. Number 3, SC. Number 8, UCLA. And number 16, Washington State. Cardinal, not surprisingly, picked to win the Pac-12. If they do, it'd be their 4th straight conference crown. Beatty Goad, what do you say? Grubel will track it down. A good tackle there by Hewen. No PK. Malatsky. Goal kick, and Carly thought that was a corner. So now the Mustangs will come in, and let's see. We'll get Claire Murphy, number 27, and number 13, Jessica Johnson. Meanwhile, Cal Poly looking to get back to its first NCAA tournament since 2004. They've made it to 4 Division I tournaments. Actually, 5. In 3 times, they've been eliminated by Stanford. This is the 10th all-time meeting. Stanford has won each of the first 9. So Cal Poly yet to get a result against the 2-time national champions. Lost in the second round to Stanford in 1999, 3-1. Lost in the first round to the Cardinal in 2002, 4-0. And lost in the first round to Stanford 2004, 2-0. Also made the NCAA tournament in 2000 and 2003. Lots of space there for Kirchik. A nice ball. George trying to work on Girma. Naomi, solid defending. Solid stuff from the freshman from San Jose. 82nd minute. Girma, ooh. Cleared that to a dangerous spot. But Cal Poly unable to take advantage. Get no Tierna Davidson, got injured in the game against UNC on Sunday, so Cardinal haven't exactly been at full strength. They've played a bunch of different people in this one. Ceci G getting her 5th appearance. 2018, Belle Breed making her debut tonight, this year. Nice ball for Harbor. Brown is there. Cook. She has started every match in her Cardinal career. She has not missed a single match. That is 76 matches strong now. Grubel. There's Coleman trying to hold it up. Coleman. Nice run here from Stiegler. It's 1-on-5. Now she'll get some support from George, but pass not there. Taken away, and now the Cardinal with a chance to strike again. Tran. Oh, G goes down in the box, but a good tackle there from Talmy. 85th minute. As we start to round this one down. Throw-in coming up. Correction, set piece. Free kick here for the Cardinal and Malatsky. Good ball to Savannah Coleman, but I'll go out for a throw-in.
Well, if you patterned the number of mistakes that Stanford has made today, it kind of, we'll say, mistakes that are real obvious miscues for Stanford, that it's like maybe 1.5 for the entire duration of the match.
Yeah, it's been pretty spotless from a technical standpoint. Grace Park checking in for her first action of the evening, the 5'5" sophomore from San Luis Obispo. Hometown product. About 3 hours south of here or so. Maybe a little more. Stanford will take it. So 3:45 left in this one. As the Cardinal will improve to 7-0-0 unless Cal Poly can get 3 goals in the next 210 seconds of force OT. That would appear to be highly unlikely.
Second that thought.
Just a hunch. No matter who's been on the pitch for the Cardinal, they've possessed just as well all throughout. Our next web stream here on GoStanford.com and Pac-12.com will be tomorrow night, Stanford field hockey against Yale. Yours truly on the call for that one. Then we have Tim Swartz on the call for Stanford Field Hockey against Kent State on Sunday. One hopper from Coleman to Brown. Brown has acquitted herself well tonight. 9 stops on 12 shots on goal. And she did not give up any cheap ones. Had a great save to keep it at 2-0 for the time being on a point-blank Jordan DiBiase header. A leaping stop from Sophia Brown. She has played very well tonight in goal for the Mustangs. And head coach Alex Crozier, in the only head coach in program history, started out as a D2 school for women's soccer. Goad played their first 2 years at the D2 level, 92 and 93, before making the transition to D1 in 94. Coleman brings it down, near side stoppage for Brown. Corner kick coming up. Coleman, really good look there. Good touch on that one. Would have been her 3rd goal if she'd been able to sneak it through. The Cardinal has time for one more goal potentially, or one more opportunity. Final 55 seconds. Harbor on the corner. Played it in for Grubel, and that one booted away. 45 ticks remain. Coleman in the box. Back out, Hyatt. Goodbye to that one, as John Miller would say, adios pelota. A home run out of the park here at Larry Q. Kagan Stadium.
A high pop-up. Just past the infield.
Back. Foul on Stanford. 5 seconds left. Final boot. And that'll do it. There's a new program record. 29 straight unbeaten for the Cardinal, and a 29-match win streak dating back to the end of last August 2017. That's the last time the Cardinal lost a match. Stanford 7-0 this year now, following a 3-0 triumph over Cal Poly. The Mustangs still looking for their first win of 2018. They drop to 0-5-3. Final thoughts for you, Fitz?
It was fun to watch, and not only did Stanford look fantastic, at least to my eye, but pretty good look in net for Cal Poly, and it made it an exciting game, and it was certainly appreciated up here in the booth, the open-air booth.
Well, next up for the Mustangs, at Washington State on Sunday for the Cardinal again. Big one against Santa Clara on Sunday. That one will be televised on Pac-12 networks. That will be a 4 p.m. kickoff. So get ready for that one. The Broncos, number 7 team in the country. Of course, Stanford, numero uno. For our cameraman, Rob DeSandre, our technical director, the big cat, Kari Jones, and Chris Fitzgerald, my name is Kevin Anna saying sayonara from Stanford. Your final score for the final time, Stanford 3, Cal Poly 0. Goals from Madison Haley, and Allie Grubel. Have a good night, everybody. You've been watching Stanford Women's Soccer on GoStanford.com and Pac-12.com.